is up, everybody? Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. It's Thursday, August 13th, and the NBA season is winding down. Been a weird week, to say the least, with just all sorts of, trying to manage, like, who's going to play, who cares for anything, who's going to actually play the second half. Gotten some of that right, gotten some of that very wrong. Today, I think there is, like, a route to understanding what studs are playing for things and, should at least get a decent amount of second half run, assuming that the games stay close. But it will be an interesting one. Looking forward to breaking it down. I am only going to be doing the main slate starting at 4 on DraftKings. That early slate we're going to be covering for our subscribers in our Discord channel, but not on this video. Look, let's be real. You're going to be playing a lot of Celtics with the many people that they're sitting. But looking forward to this slate. Just a quick reminder, if you enjoy our content, please, bottom right of the screen, hit subscribe. Really, really need your help for us getting to our big goal, which is 1,000 subscribers. We're in the mid 600s, so if you can help or know anybody else that would be interested, please let them know. We really do appreciate it. All right, let's get into the games. Let's start out with the first game of the slate is Milwaukee versus Memphis. So Milwaukee's fresh off of playing Giannis in a game that didn't matter, him headbutting Mo Wagner, and now who knows what his punishment will be. Quite a great start for them. So they are playing for nothing. If you see Middleton and Bledsoe and Lopez and those people that they tell them that they're going to play today, just expect that they're not going to play like past the first half. There's no reason that they should play. So on the Milwaukee side of things, only one looking for scrubs. On the Memphis side, this is a must-win for them. So must-win has been locking Ja Morant into big minutes. Let's just talk about the Grizzlies side of things. So Morant in the last 2 games has played 42 and 41 minutes, had 57 and 39.5 DK. His price is not, like, awesome for where we see Ja Morant. On FanDuel, he's going to be the chalk of the slate because he's only, like, 7,700. But 9K does make you pause a bit until you realize that there's just a ton of value on this slate, and you can get there. I'll kind of talk about this as we go, but one of the biggest things that might be prohibitive is that just everybody you want is a guard, so you only have so many slots. But, I think Morant is in line for just a huge role once again, so I think he'll be one of the building blocks for my lineups. You could also maybe try to be a little contrarian with someone like Jonas Valanciunas. I do think that there's multiple center values that you want to use, so I will not be there. Dylan Brooks is fine. Brandon Clark is actually worth a little mini look, especially if Milwaukee just starts tossing out scrubs. 29-26 the last 2 games, putting up 26 and 32 DK. He will come off the bench, which we've seen where he's better. If he dropped like 40 in this spot, I would not be shocked. Anybody else on Memphis? I think that I guess you can consider Grayson Allen, but I just think there's going to be other scrubs in better positions. Speaking of scrubs, let's just talk about a few from Milwaukee. Man, if any of them are watching, scrubs is the wrong word. Cheap players. How about that? Cheap guys. Again, I already told you I'm not going to be interested in Bledsoe, Middleton, Lopez. I think if I'm dropping down, the first guy that pops off to me is Sterling Brown. I had some shares of him on, Tuesday. Played 30 minutes, 31 DK. He is forward eligible too, which is big on this slate. So I like that a lot, especially with Giannis suspended. You can also look at, I'm pretty sure DiVincenzo I've seen has already been ruled out. Also, who else do I want to point out? Oh, 2 other guys that I want to point out here is DJ Wilson, their former first-round pick. Finally saw a run in the blowout, 23 minutes, 16 DK. He is stone minimum for 3K. I think that works. And then Giannis's brother, I'll just call him Baby Giannis, 18 and 19 minutes the last 2 games, 19 and 25 DK. So that will be very interesting if he were to see like 25 minutes. He could really put up some big numbers. All right, let's go to Dallas versus Phoenix. Dallas is playing for nothing. Phoenix is playing for everything. So with Dallas playing for nothing, I'm just going to go ahead and just immediately not play Luka. And then Porzingis is questionable. I don't even think he'll suit up. What we could see from the Dallas side of things is, could we see a Boban game? If so, Of course, I'm insanely interested in Boban at 3,500. We just saw him get 25 minutes, crush for 40 DK. DeAndre Ayton would have no chance to slow him down, nor I don't think DeAndre Ayton will have a lot of interest in trying to slow him down. So 3,500 for Boban. If we see him getting a start, pretty much big thing would be if all of a sudden we see Dallas' starters start getting rolled out, then we can know it's a Boban time. So, sign me up if we can get that. The other guys in Dallas, it's always tough. Maybe I don't think Curry will play, but maybe we see DeLon Wright get a bigger run at 3,500, but he is a guard. Justin Jackson's gonna get run 3,200. Let's see. Kid Gilchrist just got a lot of run. He's not good. 18 minutes. He only put up 7.5 DK, so I'll probably pass there. I think the biggest guy I just want to focus on is Boban. Maybe Trey Burke, but again, he's a guard. I have so many guards. The big guards I want to focus on here, I'm talking about Booker, but it's Morant, Booker, and Dame Lillard in must-wins. So it's hard to play them. Play like a guy like Burke when you have those spots. On the other side of the ball, Devin Booker is the top play on Phoenix and one of the top plays in the slate. He's just been on a roll in the bubble, leading Phoenix from pretty much the death of the league to a playoff spot if they win. But 58 versus Phoenix versus Philly, 50 versus OKC, 49 versus Miami, just on the ball a ton. So we're actually seeing some assist totals, giving me even more of a floor. Just love him in this spot. 9,800 is steep, but honestly, like I'm trying to do my best to not even look at these salaries because we have so much value that just getting the guys that we know can give us at least a floor, right? That we know are going to play into the third, into the fourth. Like if this game is close, Devin Booker is playing 45 minutes. So, that price, wow, yeah, it sucks. Like I would never pay 9,800 for Devin Booker on a normal slate. On this slate, salary just doesn't really matter. So I'm probably locking him in. DeAndre Ayton, if you weren't wanting to go Booker, would definitely be in play 8,100. He's just been kind of lackluster to say the least. We had the COVID game, then only 26 DK and 32 minutes versus Philly, only 36 DK versus Miami. So, Booker gives us a much higher floor, so I'd rather spend my salary there. I guess the other thing worth note, maybe like Dario Saric is potentially in play at 5,200. You are going to need after, you lock in the big three, you are going to need somebody that's kind of mid-tier. So maybe Saric fits the build for you, 35 and 34, the last two, 5,200. Definitely a solid price. You just don't get huge minutes, but let's say this game were to get out of hand or anything like that, maybe Saric gets a little extra run. That could work. All right. I think that covers that game pretty good. Let's go on to San Antonio and Utah. And another game where we have a team in a must-win situation, and the other team's already sitting a lot of players. So San Antonio has to win to stay alive, which means the likes of DeRozan, Murray, White, even Jakob Poeltl are in play. Jakob Poeltl would be the one guy I probably will have no shares of just because he's center eligible. We're going to talk about this game, but Tony Bradley is a top play, and then I already mentioned Boban. So there's a very good chance that I'm only playing, potentially playing two centers, center and utility, just because of their ceiling and their prices. But it's hard to play Poeltl. So let's just talk about the top end. DeMar DeRozan, I think, is a top play, especially since he is all forward eligible. Look, DeRozan's not been showing a huge ceiling in the bubble, but he is showing a high floor. Almost every single game above 35, all but one. Funny enough, the one that was missed was versus the Utah second unit, which is what we're going to see here. But, I think that if you decide that you want to go off of either Morant, Lillard, or Booker, that DeRozan is a likely place that maybe you land. Just you want to land with a team that cares and a team that needs to win. And DeRozan just happens to be the best player on a team that has the must win. So I think it's fine. Especially if you maybe want to incorporate some value guards. Like if you decide like, oh man, I want like Alexander Waller or Frank Jackson or, Trey Burke, something like that. And you want to get maybe then spin up at forward. Maybe that's a way to be contrarian too. Murray and White are fine, but guards. So again, like you have to go on one of those more contrarian parts where you're fading one of the 3 guards to get them. Yeah, I think that covers San Antonio. I'm definitely San Antonio is probably the team that I'm least interested in of all the teams that need to win, just because they are so deep. One person I just want to just bring up that just blew up last game was Keldon Johnson. Pop could not have been like more like nice about his performance, just saying he was just awesome, that he's a winner. But 24-11 in 26 minutes versus Houston. So the rookie is definitely starting to show out. So I like that play. On the Utah side of the ball, even if Donovan Mitchell plays, I'm not going to be on Donovan Mitchell at all. Utah's playing for nothing. So, maybe he's just trying to get a little work in after sitting out last game. But I can't see him getting run very deep into the second half. So I'm just going to pass. And he's guard. So where I'm looking with Conley out, with Gobert out, Bogdanovich obviously has already been out. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody else is ruled out, or if Clarkson and O'Neal get the start but don't play the second half. So I'm dropping down here, first off, to Tony Bradley. I think that he should start with the fact that we have Jakob Poeltl starting for San Antonio. Tony Bradley, when he's in, just mashes. You can see the last matchup for San Antonio in 22 minutes. He got 41 DK, and he's been a point-per-minute contributor all season. So if you give him 25 to 30 minutes, you're looking at 25 to 30 DK. So I really like that play. Also worth noting, but he's a guard. So you got to play around with your roster construction, is Manuel Mudiay. 26 and 24 DK the last 2 when he's gotten a run. So I immediately really like that too. On the bottom end of things, at forward, Niang is very in play. Again, you just kind of maybe want to see if like O'Neal sits. If so, you see Niang get the start, and he's shown the ability to show up. Final guy I just want to mention, if it really turns into a shit show, is where is he? Mia Oni, one of their rookies. When he plays, he's done very well. Had 25 DK versus San Antonio in a spot start. The last time they played with 30 minutes, struggled versus Dallas, getting 27 minutes, only 11 DK, but he can play. Keats wanted me to make sure I brought him up. All right, let's go to the final game of significance, which is Portland versus Brooklyn. Portland must win. Dame Lillard is in Dame Lillard type of territory where he is just carrying the team. 80 in 2 of the last 4, 68 in another game. Just his shot volume is off the charts, and so is just his making the shots. It's just been insane. Dropped 61 real points versus Dallas. I think he's going to be the first guy into everybody's lineup. I would expect him to be the most popular player on the slate. If you wanted to maybe be contrarian, fading him for the like of Nurkic definitely is interesting. The person I kind of want to bring up that I think I'm going to be locking into a lot of lineups, and have played a lot more than everybody. He was only like 4% on Tuesday in cash, and I can't remember what he was in the 20, but it wasn't much. It's Carmelo Anthony. He's just been awesome in the bubble. 3 straight 30-plus games. Dropped 44 versus Dallas. Is shooting a decent amount, but it's just being efficient. And I just love the minutes. 34, 36, 35 in the last 3. 6,300. Kind of fits in a number of builds with that forward position. I told you you're going to need one mid-tier guy. I have no problem with it, and my mid-tier guy being Carmelo in this matchup versus Brooklyn. You could also maybe make an argument for Gary Trent Jr. Playing big minutes. My biggest problem with Gary Trent is if he's not making his threes, you're going to get screwed. So, but he's forward eligible. He's in that sweet spot, mid-tier at 5,100. You're going to get big minutes, so I would not fault anybody from going there. I think that covers Portland well. You could also go CJ McCollum, but I just don't see a reason. He's a guard eligible. I just wouldn't do it. So to me, it's lock in Lillard. I'm probably going to be on Anthony. And then if you want to maybe be contrarian, going Nurkic over one of the studs. Brooklyn side of the ball, they haven't ruled everybody out, but they're not playing for anything. They've been one of the most willing teams to rest guys, so I would not play any of these top. I would not play LeVert, would not play Allen, would not play Joe Harris. And then if they're not out, though, I struggle to play all the value. We saw that they were kind of rotating all of them anyways versus Orlando. But, I'm sure Timothy Lewu Cabaret, or however you say him, let's call him TLC. I'm sure he'll be popular after dropping 35 in 24 minutes. And then having the other performance where he put 33 and 31. I just, that's so late in the night. I'll just have to see what things are shaking up. But as of now, I'm not playing the Brooklyn value. Final game means nothing. And as you can see, it means nothing because of all the outs. New Orleans versus Orlando. First off, regardless of news, do not play Nick Vucevic. I tried to warn everybody on Wednesday, even though he was chalk, he only played 21 minutes. I would expect something the same if he even does play. So at 9,100, he has no ceiling. So I will not be on him at all. Then we go with all the outs. Lonzo Ball, he's guard eligible. He does not fit in any builds. They're not playing for anything. We saw the same thing happen for Sacramento. He played 29 minutes, only put up 29 DK, just not in play for me. Markelle Fultz, the same way. He was chalk last slate. He's just not going to fit anywhere. Derek Favors don't play because he's already injury prone and they're not playing for anything. So he's just not going to go. All right, we're going to start getting down into the value tier here. Etuan Moore, I think, is in play. Feel like he played a couple minute games for the Magic. I could be wrong, but 24 minutes, 25 DK. He does fill a forward spot, so I think that he definitely works. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think, should get a lot more run. Issue is he's a guard, but if he gets 25 minutes again, he could easily put up 25 to 30 DK. Frank Jackson, guy I also like. He is coming off of a big game as well. 25 minutes, 26 DK. Those guys can play ball. It's just I think they're going to be more like showdown and late slate plays versus main slate because of the guards. Jahlil Okafor is the other center value that if we don't get Boban, I might go on. Play 26 minutes, 31 DK. God, I don't have any idea who the Magic are going to play in the second unit. It'll be like Kim Birch and people like that. And Okafor, he's taking these opportunities to maybe try to get yet another contract or another stint since, he's just not proven the ability to stick with like a good team or play in like a meaningful rotation. But when he gets time on the full court, he shows out, in these type of games. So I think that, again, if I don't get Boban, Jahlil Okafor is somebody in play for me, as is Jackson Hayes. I just think that Okafor gives you a lot more upside than Jackson Hayes does at this point. Jackson Hayes just doesn't have any offensive game. Melvin Frazier, I just pulled up some optos and was popping. I don't know, Keats and I played him last game when we saw the Magic lineup. Terrence Ross is also out. We thought he'd get big run. He did 27 minutes and gave us a whopping 7 DK. But he does fill a forward spot. You can do worse. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going back to it or not. Yeah, I'm sure if there's anybody else I missed on the Magic side of things, you can let me, Magic or Pelicans side of things, you can let me know. But you get the point. You're going to want value in that spot. All right, guys, that is this 5-game slate. Enjoy yourselves. Just keep in mind, lock in those guys in the must-win spots. Use your big salary there, and then fill in otherwise. Good luck today, and we'll catch you tomorrow.